Welcome to Horror Hub 88, your dark frequency. Subscribe, or the static gets louder. Finally, our own slice of heaven, Marina. Alex slammed the U-Haul door, grinning at their pristine new house on Serenity Lane. Eden Meadows was perfect manicured lawns, silent streets, houses like gleaming teeth. It screamed success, expensive, safe, pure hope. Then came the knock. "Hello, new neighbors." Mrs. Glover's voice was syrup poured over broken glass. Her smile didn't reach her eyes as she thrust a cherry pie at Marina. "Just mind the little rules, dear. Keeps our paradise paradisical." Alex felt a chill. Everett Vance arrived minutes later, suit crisp, smile colder than the pie. "Welcome." He handed Alex a thick binder. Eden Meadows HO Covenants. Harmony is mandatory. Page after page of absurdity. Curtain color approval. Watering days. 2s, Thurs only. No garbage cans visible before 7 p.m. exactly. Pressure, building like a storm. Alex tested it that afternoon, placing the bin out at 6:58 p.m. Mrs. Glover materialized instantly, her smile now a rictus. "Tut-tut, Alex, rules are rules." That evening, a formal warning letter appeared, citing Section 4.3, Container Chronology. Irritation curdled into anger. Later, Alex stood at the dark window. At exactly 10 p.m., every light in Eden Meadows winked out, plunging the street into utter, synchronized darkness. Later still, a whisper, a shifting shadow in the Olsons' bushes across the street. "Too tall. Just stress," Marina murmured, already half asleep. Alex flipped the binder open to a random page. Article 12.7, Prohibited Nocturnal Avian Mimicry, whistling after 9 p.m. The question echoed, cold and sharp. Is this heaven or an open-air prison? It started small. A warning for grass blade variance, 0.5 inches over. Another for porch light wattage, 5 lumens too bright. Mrs. Glover became a fixture. Her friendly reminders now hissed threats veiled in smiles. "We wouldn't want trouble, would we?" Tension coiled, spring tight. Then the invitation. Mandatory community barbecue. Attendance reflects commitment. The implication hung heavy. Be there. The barbecue was a gallery of wax figures. Artificial laughter, plastic smiles, conversations praising Everett Vance, and the rules like Holy Writ. Alex felt like an exposed nerve. Marina tried desperately to blend in. Everett watched, silent, from his throne of lawn chairs. Alex spotted Ben Riley, a nervous newcomer from 2 streets over. "It's suffocating," Ben whispered, eyes darting. "They see everything." 2 days later, Ben's house stood empty, unnervingly clean. "Relocated suddenly," Vance stated blandly at the next HOA update. Mrs. Glover sidled up to Alex, her breath sour. "Some people just don't fit in." True fear, cold and slick, finally touched Alex. That night, fueled by rage and terror, Alex deliberately stepped onto the dew-wet grass after 10:05 p.m. to douse the barbecue embers. A tiny, useless rebellion. Morning revealed the price. Centered perfectly on their immaculate lawn, a small bird lay mangled, wings twisted unnaturally. Pinned beneath it, a single note in jagged handwriting. Rules equals safety. Don't test. "What is this? What is this?" Marina recoiled from the window, face ashen. Alex stared at the dead bird, the note, the perfect prison of Eden Meadows. "We follow every rule, Alex, every single one," Marina pleaded, tears welling. But Alex needed answers. Searches online yielded nothing but glossy brochures and sterile HOA websites. Neighbors? Mrs. Olson's smile froze, her door clicking shut mid-question. Paranoia bloomed. The feeling of eyes, constant, unblinking. Mrs. Glover peering from her porch. Silent HOA patrol cars gliding past like sharks. Trapped. Defiance flared again. Under cover of gardening during non-approved hours, Alex dug near the property-lined fence. The spade struck something hard, cold. Brushing dirt away revealed a carved stone fragment, ancient, covered in symbols that writhed under the sun. Nothing that belonged in Eden Meadows' sanitized history. Later, Marina reported from the mandatory community library hour. A locked door marked archives history, shelves suspiciously empty. An old librarian, trembling, managed to whisper before being abruptly escorted out. "The deal, the price for order, it's blood." The mailbox clanged that evening. Inside, a photograph. Alex, caught mid-dig, the artifact clutched in hand. Scrawled on the back, the same jagged hand. "Leave the past buried, for your own good." No more doubt. They were in a trap, jaws snapping shut. "We find the truth," Alex vowed, voice low and hard. "The archives, Ben's house, whatever it takes." The air thickened, tasting of smoke and dread as the next mandatory community barbecue loomed. Neighbors moved with a strange, suppressed excitement. Mrs. Glover was everywhere, her reminders now guttural commands. "Don't be late, Sadie dears. Never late." Desperation fueled Alex. A tense, breathless scramble into Vance's ostentatious home while he prepped for the barbecue. Heart hammering, Alex found it, not in a locked drawer, but tucked inside a leather-bound ledger disguised as HOA finances. A brittle parchment fragment depicting the same symbols, beside crude drawings of an altar, figures, sacrificing. The words "sanctuary of order" pulsed with malevolence. It wasn't rules, it was a blood covenant. The barbecue field felt charged, wrong. The fire in the central stone pit burned too hot, too hypnotic. Long knives gleamed beside skewers. Everett Vance stood, surveying his flock. "Tonight, we reaffirm our pact." His voice, amplified, lacked all warmth. "Purity demands sacrifice. Order demands obedience." Heavy, expectant gazes turned towards Alex and Marina. Alex couldn't stay silent. Stepping forward, voice raw with fury, Alex pointed at Vance. "Sacrifice? Like Ben Riley? This isn't a community, it's a cult." Dead silence crashed down. Every plastic smile vanished. Vance's face transformed, eyes glacial. He hissed words that slithered, ancient, guttural. As one, the neighbors stood. Their faces seemed to shift, eyes glinting unnaturally in the firelight. From the shadows at the field's edge, figures cloaked in darkness materialized, hoods seeming to form from the night itself. The manicured lawn became a stage for nightmare. Hands seized Alex and Marina, impossibly strong. They were dragged, kicking, towards the blazing pit. Now clearly an altar. Vance raised a long, curved knife, its edge catching the hellish light. His voice boomed, "Let the harvest begin!" Chaos erupted, but not from Alex's struggle. A bone-jarring electronic screech split the night. Alex's hastily rigged car alarm, triggered remotely. The cultists faltered, disoriented by the sudden assault of sound. Seizing the fractured second, Alex wrenched free, elbow connecting with the jaw with a sickening crack. Grabbing Marina's arm, Alex hauled her forward. "Run!" They sprinted into the perfect, hostile streets of Eden Meadows. Manicured hedges snagged clothes. Sprinklers erupted like tripwires. Pursuers flowed after them with terrifying, unnatural speed. Silent, except for ragged breaths. The very suburbs seemed to twist against them. Adrenaline screamed through their veins. Ducking into a half-built McMansion skeletal garage, they collapsed, gasping. Alex fumbled out the phone light, illuminating the parchment fragment, Vance's ledger notes, the artifact piece. The truth slammed home. A pact. Blood sacrifices fed an ancient entity demanding absolute order. The HOA rules were the ritual's framework. Prosperity, safety, bought with screams in the dark. "We can't outrun them, not here," Alex panted. "The ritual, it has a center, a weak point, Vance's altar, his basement sanctum. We break that." Sneaking back towards Vance's monstrous house, they reached the side gate. A shape lunged from the roses. Mrs. Glover, face contorted, a gardening trowel raised like a dagger. "Rule breaker!" she shrieked. Alex shoved Marina towards the gate. "Go! Find it!" The trowel plunged down. Alex twisted, but hot agony seared across their ribs. They crumpled, seeing Marina hesitate, terror-stricken. "Go!" Alex roared, blood soaking the perfect grass, as Glover raised the trowel again, her eyes black pits of fanaticism. Marina ran, tears blurring the path to Vance's cellar door. Inside, the air hummed with sickening power. There it was, the altar, pulsating with dark energy, carved with the same symbols. The weak point. Rage, grief, and terror fused into pure desperation. She grabbed a heavy iron pry bar leaning against the wall. "For Alex!" she screamed, swinging it with all her failing strength at the obscene stone centerpiece. The impact was thunderous. A shockwave, silent but felt, rippled outwards. The ground lurched, lights flickered violently, died. Alarms wailed across Eden Meadows. Distant, inhuman shrieks of rage echoed. Chaos, beautiful chaos. Marina stumbled back, gasping, the pry bar slipping from her blood-slicked hand. She fled the collapsing darkness of Vance's house. Outside, pandemonium reigned. The gates stood open, unmanned. She ran past manicured hell onto the dark county road beyond. Collapsing, she sobbed into the asphalt, hysterical relief warring with soul-crushing loss. The police, the hospital, her frantic story of cults, sacrifices, Alex, met with polite disbelief. The HOA presented flawless records. Alex died in a tragic accident. Fall, heart attack? Ben Riley moved interstate. Witnesses all attested to Marina's profound grief-induced delusion. No evidence, no bodies, no justice. Only the suffocating, perfect silence of the official narrative. Broken, penniless, haunted, she was gently returned to Eden Meadows by HOA-appointed caretakers. Her house, spotless, waited. A week later, Everett Vance came. He looked older, paler, diminished, but his eyes held the same glacial chill. "Our condolences, Marina." He placed a new, thicker binder on her table. The old rules proved inadequate. He paused at the door. "Your role now is special. To maintain our ideal." The implication hung. Heavier than the binder, her survival, her return, was part of the renewed pact. Observer, enforcer. Marina stood at her immaculate window, staring out at the flawless street. In the reflection on the darkening glass, Mrs. Glover stood on her perfect lawn, watching Marina's house. She smiled, wide and empty. Marina's own face, a mask of numb despair, turned from the window. With dead hands, she drew the regulation-approved curtains. Exactly at 10 p.m., the facade was restored. The price paid in full. A whisper, cold as the grave, seemed to coil in the silent room. "Welcome home, Marina." The silence in Marina's house was thick, watchful. The new HOA binder lay open, rules even more suffocating. Her role? Observer, replacement, enforcer. The first patrol was agony. Her feet moved, compelled. She felt violations. A cold prickle directed her gaze. The Olsons' wilting petunia, unauthorized flora. A tremor made her see the baker's red toy truck, chromatic violation. Reporting felt like tearing her soul. Whispering into Vance's recorder, violation logged. Minutes later, Mrs. Olson ripped out the flour. Terrified. Mr. Baker snatched the truck, hatred in his eyes. The power was vile. Resisting brought searing headaches, visions of shadows, skull pressure whispers. Conform, observe. One night, pulled by compulsion, she stood at Vance's basement entrance. The sanctum, unlocked. Inside, cold power hummed. Beyond the shattered altar, a hidden door. Ice in her veins, she pushed. A garden of glass, cylinders filled with glowing fluid. Suspended within, Ben Riley, frozen mid-scream. Mrs. Glover, eyes empty, that terrible smile. Then, larger, deeper amber. Alex. Preserved in agony, defiance, the dark stain on their ribs. Marina's breath hitched, a silent scream building. Vance's voice slithered from the dark. We keep what sustains us. Alex serves differently. Rage, grief, the monstrous power collided. Lights flickered violently. Glass rattled. An inhuman snarl, raw with anguish, tore from Marina's throat, shaking the foundations, a sound warped by the thing inside the observer. Vance's face paled with primal fear. Eden's silence shattered by its newest, most dangerous creation. The echo of Marina's roar died, leaving terrifying silence. Vance paled, fear hardening to calculation. Control it, or join them sooner. He vanished. Marina trembled, alien power surging under her skin. Alex's face burned into her mind. It was controlling her. Duality. The observer's cold awareness, feeling the Smiths argue. Discord potential. Sensing the miller's eggshell white doubt, preemptive warning. Beneath, rage simmered, amplified, threatening to crack her skull. The neighborhood watched, wary, hungry. How long until she broke? Vance summoned her to a silent dinner party. Tables precise, cutlery clinked, enforced harmony hummed. Vance stood, eyes locking on her. Celebrate continuity. Welcome our new guardian of harmony, Marina Vance. His name was a brand. Cold acknowledgement washed over her. Dozens of expectant eyes demanded performance. The compulsion forced her spine straight, face serene. Inside, the beast raged. Later, sleepwalking, she returned to the sanctum. The shattered altar was gone. In its place, sleek obsidian stone, humming with deeper power. Embedded, a fragment of Alex's artifact, pulsing faint light. Beside it, on dark stone, a clean, empty glass cylinder. Heron. The finality struck. Enforce, feed, be drained, stored. Whispers crescendoed. Serve, become ... Then, a fainter pull, desperate behind rebuilt wall. Ignoring pressure, she pushed stone aside. A hidden alcove, a stone slab. On it, Mrs. Glover. Not preserved, but dried, desiccated, parchment skin, milky eyes tracking Marina. Lips sewn shut with dark wire, twitching. No sound, but the thought slammed in, brittle, sorrowful. It never ends. You will be me. We are the cost. The entity within surged, not rage, but recognition. It knew this fate. Marina stumbled back, collapsing before the new altar, cold stone on her cheek, humming power, a seductive lullaby. Whispers soothed, rest, sustain, belong. Outside, Eden slept, perfect. On her lawn, Mr. Olson materialized, smile empty, fixed on her window. Hand lifted in expectation. Marina, guardian, sacrifice, closed her eyes. Payment was due. The artifact pulsed, feeding on despair. A dead tear traced her cheek as the entity settled deeper, whispering, "Welcome home."